So let's go ahead and get started with this assignment. Let's finally go ahead and put it into practice. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the content that we just looked at. You won't be able to see it at the moment, but please don't worry, we will provide you with the chart that we just viewed after the training is done, and you can go ahead and do it yourself as a homework assignment. So right now we're just going to put that into practice. If you can see here, this is the web address for the backend that MicroBenefits has already provided you with. You're probably already a little bit familiar with this when you implemented your own survey. So of course the first thing we want to make sure of is the web address, just like before, intl-ciq admin.ifuli.cn. We have the welcome page here. All you have to do is type in your username that you've been provided with already, as well as your password. And we can go ahead and sign in. Here we are. Can go ahead and skip this. And here we are. This is the backend that you have already seen before. Here's the survey function that we used to implement the survey. And once again, this is what we'll be focusing on today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click surveys, just as before. And here we are. It brings us immediately to the survey list, which we want to be in. And as you can notice, any survey you create will be listed here with the title, collection status, data received, time started, time to be completed, and so on and so on. Right now, what we're going to focus on is creating a survey, of course. So if we go into the top left here, you'll see the create button, and it's this simple. Just click the create button, and immediately we enter the survey page, survey creation page with all the settings, the title, the welcome page, and everything. So as I said before, we can get started on our assignment. Once again, the title of this survey is December 2017 Workshop Safety Survey. So we're going to create a survey asking our employees about their safety knowledge and their safety training. The welcome page is very important. As I said before, this is what the participants are going to see below the survey title once they enter the survey. And for this, I'll just go ahead and write it out and say very clearly. The welcome page for us will be, hello everyone. In order to create a safer working environment, we are now conducting a survey to gain a greater understanding of our factory's current state. Your honest opinions are valuable to us. Your answers will be kept anonymous as well. Thank you. So the reason why I read that out to you as well is because I want everyone to take notice real quick of what an appropriate welcome page is. These few sentences are very appropriate for this survey because it tells you the purpose of the survey. It encourages them to give us their honest opinions, and it also informs them that this survey will be anonymous. Moving on, we have the thumbnail picture. If you'd like, you can upload a picture on the welcome page of the survey. Right now, we're not going to focus on that. You can explore it later if you'd like. For time started, we'll go ahead and we'll just say that we want to start this on Monday, the December 11th. As you can see, the date right now is December 6th. I'd like to start this on December, and you can even choose a time you'd like to start it. So say I want it to be started during lunchtime on that day, 12 o'clock. Make sure you hit OK. This is very important to save your work. OK. Time completed. We can set this for December 30th. And I'll set this as late as possible, almost midnight, because I want this to be open as late as possible. I'll hit OK, check the times once more, and you have set the time for your survey. That's the time frame. Before I go on to the next settings, I'd like to cover two main points. The first one is the help bar to the right of the page here. And as you can see, we have a glossary that is extremely helpful. This will help you to understand the different settings better. For example, SMS verification has an explanation right here. Verified by user ID also has an explanation right here. And if we go into the advanced settings, each one of these has an explanation within the glossary. So please utilize that to your own desire. It can be very helpful. The other point that I wanted to bring up is that some of these settings do not yet apply to you. So during this training, I'm going to go over some of the important settings, and then there are also going to be some settings that I'm going to ask you to ignore. So we just want to go over the main ones that are going to be most helpful to you. Starting out with SMS verification, this is one of those that we might not use as much. We're just going to go ahead and set this to no for now. Same thing with verified by user ID. We can ignore both of these. We're just going to set each one to no. As we get into the advanced settings, we can see the jump to URL after survey setting. What this setting does is it allows participants to click on a link after they have submitted their survey and jump to a new web address, a new website. This can be very beneficial if you want to give participants prizes or awards or participate in a lucky draw after the survey is completed. For today, what we're going to use it for is to jump to an article about safety. Once again, this is after the participants complete their survey, and as we said today, our survey is based off of workshop safety, and so we're going to provide them with an article after they finish their survey to learn more about safety. Okay, so under the first jump to URL after survey box, I'm going to type in the name of the button, the link that I'd like to provide them. It's going to say click here to learn more about safety. In the next box, I'm going to provide the link to that website, to that article. Set access password. This, according to our assignment, will be 1234. And what this does is participants have to enter this password in order to enter the survey. Expectations refers to how many people you expect to complete this survey. As we've gone over before with everyone, having a target sample size is very beneficial. You can set this to any target you desire. For example, perhaps we expect 150 people to complete the survey. We can simply just write in 150 right here. At the moment, the Add Second Language button doesn't apply here. We're just going to select no for that. Same thing with callback. We're going to select no. Set to anonymous is a very important function. If you select yes, then whoever looks at this data will not be able to tell which participants answered what questions and in what ways. As you might remember, in our welcome page, we informed everyone that their answers will be kept anonymous. And typically we want to answer yes for this. There are a few circumstances where we might answer no. For example, before I mentioned that this could be used as a training tool. But if you're trying to understand the opinions of your workers or trying to gain suggestions or information from them, typically we don't want to violate their trust. We want to keep it anonymous, and that's what we're going to do in this instance. For score, as I mentioned before, this allows you to allocate points to different questions. When a participant answers a question correctly, they will receive these points, and there will be a score at the end of the test. You can also determine whether the participant themselves can see this score, noted by the Show Results button right here. So once again, for our assignment, we're going to click yes for both. We'll have a score, and then we'll allow them to see their score. Can survey results be checked? Refers to the overall results of the survey, the results of everyone who's actually submitted a survey already. So if I select yes for this setting, when I submit a survey as a participant, I will be able to see the statistics of all the previous answers. For now, we're going to set the sticky setting as no, and we're also going to set display on mobile as no. Both of these we don't need to worry about. And after that, all we have to do is hit next. It's that simple.